Alright, this is a practice recording in regards to my progress to skill development in Unreal Engine. The skill development is 3D ambience and procedural sound design to improve my 3D audio mechanics in game engines, specifically in Unreal. Alright, so far I've basically managed to save the level onto my drive. I'm working in the Byron Bay Windows lab as we speak. So in terms of progress, since last week I have managed to do all the area loops, which is one of my big vision board goals. So for example, I managed to, if I just type in SFX and just highlight from here to here, go up a little bit. These are all the area loops that I've done on the surface level of the level. And then if I fasten up and go down into the ground here, there is an entire underlevel here. So there's a sub-level which I've basically done area loops for as well, as well as a little bit of one-shots. But still a long ways to go. The main area that I've mostly covered is the lake area here. So for example, there's an area loop right here. If I go up to the lake, yep, here we go. So this is the main lake area loop, as you can see. And then scattered throughout the little lake here, we have little one-shots. Though I do need to improve upon the deck itself in terms of the character movements, but I plan to do that later on this week. As for everything else, it's mainly just been doing frog one-shots. So for example, if I click on this, go to sound cue, zoom out a little bit. So this is just a regular Unreal Engine blueprint. So simple premise for this one shot here, it's basically just a frog croaking. This one I've managed to source from SoundSnap, and then got a modular output to play it at random times, and then a output. And if I play it real quick, or play at random intervals. If you could just give it a couple seconds. And then another one is some lake splashes. So this one's a little bit more complex. So 3 of these are recorded ones that I've done for the previous video game level I did implementation for in terms of the soundscape. And then this one and this one are from the Krotos Studio audio library that I own. So if I quickly play it through here. It will play. Pretty sure the individual nodes should go. Yeah. So these are just some. And then if I play the node, it should play in a couple of seconds. So just for added randomness to it, I've added a modulator, a slight delay, and then looping, just to keep the whole thing going in terms of this chain towards the output. as for other big ticket items, so essentially the level has been covered with audio in terms of already being there before I started integrating things, and I'm slowly replacing the given audio files with my own, as well as sourced ones and recorded ones I get from previous projects, as well as from SoundSnap and other bought libraries that I have, such as Booms, various different libraries, as well as Krotos. So enough said about talking area loops. I will show you it so far, what I've done. So there's a subtle wind in the background for this one. For this one shot here, I managed to replace the music in this little cone thing. Get out of this and click on it. You can see how the cone's acting here in terms of the stereo panning from left to right being fed to each headphone. Play it again. Other big things I've done to the village so far is adding torch sounds in terms of an area loop. So this one here works. These ones don't work. And we got little campfires as well. This one's an area loop. So there's still quite a bit to do in the village here. There's also another fire I've done. This one's a little bit different, so this one is kind of a mix between an area loop and a one-shot. So I'll show you what I mean. So if I click on the thing here and go to, let me just try a campfire. Actually, there is a better way. Oh, bless me. So if we go to fire, and then fire fish. So this is what I was talking about in regards to this little campfire here with the fish on it. So similar to the one-shots, there are little sizzle sounds in the randomizer here, and then a overall loop that I've sourced for the campfire. And then going through the modulator as well to add more randomness, as well as a bit more delay, and then looping, and finally going into a mixer to blend it all together and to go into the final output. So I'll quickly show you. pond. This is the meadow, and a slight windy area for this one. Added more torch sound effects in terms of loops. And then if we come over here to the waterfall, going. So particularly with the waterfall and a work in progress that I plan to do being the windmill here, these one will require the spatial audio to be put in. Now what does that mean? It's basically the panning of it. So essentially from left to right, how much wideness do I want to give to this thing in terms of the left and right? So this one for the waterfall mainly requires that, but the other ones I turned off the spatialization in terms of that. And then I'll quickly show you the magical forest. So there's still quite a bit of one-shots to do, which I plan to do for the rest of this session here after this recording, as well as tomorrow, which I plan to get done by the end of this week. Thank you for this progress video, and I hope that some feedback should be good from this. Thank you.